Hello there. All right. Took the time to watch Sonic 2. And I did see the first one. I enjoyed the first one. I remember being a part of the whole aggravation when they introduced what they were going to make the Sonic character look like. And then there was all this hullabaloo about it. And then they had to change it. And now they're sticking with the characters looking like the characters. This movie, what makes it great is Eggman, the Dr. Robotnik. The best person in the movie. Absolutely phenomenal. He does, Jim Carrey does an amazing job in the role. I kind of want him to be the fat, puffy version of himself. So the first one, perfectly fine. Then he goes bald at the end. And I'm hoping if they make a third one, he's going to be bloated. That way he becomes Robotnik. That way he becomes the Eggman. Because there's something about him that is just absolutely hilarious. Jim Carrey is playing over the top, which is what he's great at. But here it just works so well because he's playing a video game villain. Sonic's villain. And some of the fighting scenes, I didn't care for a lot of the action. It seems to be there. The best one, though, was where Sonic is fighting Knuckles, and he's basically doing the ball and bashing him into the staircase in the old ancient temple. That was probably the best thing there because I liked that. It very was a comic book, not comic book. It was very, very Sonic playing the games where it's a side scroller, and that's all you see when you're fighting like that. Also, when he was in the water and he drank a bubble, all the little things that remind people of the classic 2D scroller. Primarily for me, not the 3D. I've never cared for a 3D Sonic game, but the side scroller ones, those I preferred, and it had a few aspects that were there. Overall, I didn't really care for the I don't care for the family of the Donut Lord and his wife, or that. The only great character I gotta say is his sister-in-law, who absolutely hates Tom. That is hilarious because it's just one of those things that it's just like she's just the angry person who hates white dudes, and it's just like I like that. I like how they got the black chick who just hates white dudes, and it happens to be her brother-in-law. It was great. That little aspect alone makes it comedic. And here he's just always trying to do things right, but yeah, other than that, I mean, this movie is just a fun kids. If you're in for a Jim Carrey film, sure, this is worth it because he's playing a comic book villain. Well, technically, yeah, but he's playing a video game villain, and one of the best interpretations, because Sonic is a weird game if you actually think about it and you put it to live action. So you have to have an over-the-top weird villain, and Jim Carrey is probably the only person who could portray that role. You could probably find a few others, but Jim Carrey has always been able to do weird and do it well. So yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, definitely worth the watch. Only one watch. I don't think I'd ever go back and rewatch it. So yeah, it didn't do me it didn't do anything for me, and it didn't do anything against me. So in the end, it was like, all right, I watched it. Now I could say I watched it. Thank y'all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.